If you eat after 8, you're gonna gain weight. How many times have we heard that myth? And welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's your boy JP here at Rooted and Rebuilt Health. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe on the video, and all of that good stuff if you're enjoying the content. Today, I wanted to get into one of the biggest health myths that there are out there. You need to stop eating by 6, 7, 8 p.m., or if not, you're gonna gain weight. I'm gonna tell you right now, that is a complete lie. If you eat after 8 p.m., it does not mean you're automatically going to gain weight. It is not going to mean that it is going to constitute for weight gain. Now, I'm not saying that eating and then going to sleep can not constitute for weight gain. I'm not sitting here and saying, well, I'm not standing here and saying that if you eat late at night and then go straight to sleep that you're never going to gain weight. No, you can gain weight from stuff like that. But eating at a specific time or before a specific time or after a specific time is not going to guarantee whether you gain or lose weight. What really constitutes to that myth is it's all dependent on what time you go to sleep. So, for instance, right, this is why this is a perfect time to talk about this. It is currently 9:51, and I'm about to have me a couple eggs and some 85-15 ground meat. Now, we're gonna be cooking that in some ghee. If you don't know, ghee is a clarified butter. It's one of the best things that you should be and could be cooking in. If you're not cooking in ghee, you can also cook in some extra virgin olive oil, or if not, you can be cooking in some beef tallow. But these are and one last thing. You can be cooking in grass-fed butter. I have all of them. They all serve a purpose. Depending on what I'm cooking, depending on what I'm having, I like to switch up what I use. But recently I discovered ghee, and it has been a complete game changer for me. High smoke point. It has cleaner ingredients and everything, right? So I'm really a big fan and big advocate of ghee, but you should really stop cooking in your standard canola oils, vegetable oils, seed oils, all of that nonsense. That stuff is going to put weight on you and is going to really clog up your system, your arteries, and all of that. So you should be only cooking, again, like I said, in ghee, olive oil, beef tallow, or like I showed you before, in the grass-fed butter. The good thing about ghee and beef tallow is you can keep them at room temperature. But we're gonna get some of this tossed in there. And this is all stuff that I have on my root list. If you don't know what my root list is, it is basically a meal, not a meal swap, but it's an ingredient swapping system that removes all the thinking for you, so you know what ingredients to be cooking in, what ingredients to be buying, and what you should be staying away from. Now, if you want a copy of that, the link is in my description. I always leave it there so that you can go purchase it. And all you're going to be having to do now, once you get that list, is that you go into your grocery store, you look at the list, see what you should be eating or see what you shouldn't be eating, pick that stuff up, go throw it in the cart, check out, keep it going. I remove all the thinking for you. But just real quick before we get back into it, Organic Valley has a great ghee. Then on top of that, this is another one, Fourth and Earth. They have ghee as well. This one has pink Himalayan salt. So all I'm gonna do is let me get my food scale. This is also something you should definitely invest in a food scale, so that you know exactly how much you're putting onto the plate, know how much you're cooking with. You don't want to just keep eyeing it and thinking like, oh, that's just enough. No, you don't know how much you're cooking in. You don't know how much is there. So get yourself a food scale so that you know exactly how much you are taking in, and you can actually dial in those macros. So I'm about to be cooking about 5 ounces of some ground beef, 85-15 to be exact. Boom, 490, 497, boom, 5 ounces. Then we're gonna take this, throw it straight into that pan. Boom. And all of that ghee and clarified butter is going to give this a nice sear, a nice sizzle, and a really, really good flavor. But let's get back to my main point and the point of this video, which is eating after a certain time is going to constitute for weight gain. It's not true. Now, how eating after a certain time can constitute for weight gain is all dependent on what time you go to sleep. Now, depending on what class of food you are eating, if you're eating something that is higher in fats, then you're going to need to give your body about 3 to 4 hours to digest that food before you decide to go to sleep. Or if not, your sleep is going to be interrupted. You're going to have a rougher time of sleep. You might wake up throughout the middle of the night. If you eat a lot of high protein foods and you go to sleep immediately after, what can tend to happen is that you'll start to sweat in your sleep. But depending on what class of food you're eating is all going to determine what time you should be eating it at, and when you fall asleep, or what time you should fall asleep, I should say, right? So for example, I'm probably going to be going to sleep within the next 2.5 to 3 hours, right? So this is going to give my body just enough time to process this ground meat, and I'm also going to have a couple eggs with it. Now, if I was just having the eggs with it, I can go to sleep within the next hour and some change, because eggs are something that are broken down and they're digested quick and fast. But things that have, like I said, higher fat content, you want to give it around 3 to 4 hours. Your leaner meats, you want to give them about 2 to 2.5 hours. And then when it comes to like yogurts and fruits of that nature, you can give it about an hour, hour and a half. And anything liquid like a shake, or something of that regard and that nature, then you can give yourself about 90 minutes. Now, the thing about it is that when you go to sleep very close to when you're eating, or depending on what you're eating, is going to constitute for how your sleep is, but it's not going to constitute to weight gain itself. It's been a myth that people have put into place. It was a little rhyme: eat after 8, you gain weight. Just to keep people from having those late night cravings, from having food sit on their stomach. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to automatically gain weight, though. And there is no magic rule, or your body doesn't go and say, all right, after 8 p.m., anything that we go, we're storing as fat. No, that's not how it works. It's just that your quality of sleep may be affected. If you have things like fruit, for example, very, very close to going to sleep, you're going to have high levels of sugar in your body, which is going to cause you to get up a lot during the middle of the night. It's something that I've experienced multiple times, and it's still to this day that I experience it, because, listen, we're all human. But we really need to get that myth out of our head that if we eat after a certain time, it's automatically going to gain us weight. No, it's all about meal timing. It's all about what time you fall asleep, and just really giving your body an opportunity to digest these things. As long as I give myself about three-ish hours to digest this food properly, I really don't have anything to worry about. And on top of that, as long as I'm staying within my caloric value for the day, it's all fair game. That's why I always tell my clients, I always tell people that gaining and losing weight, it's all a numbers game, really. It's nothing more than just calories in versus calories out, knowing what your values are, and then just sticking to your values. That's why it's very important to track your calories for a certain amount of time. I always tell my clients, track your calories for about 3 to 6 months, so you can at least see and understand what certain portions should look like, so that you can see and understand what your meals should look like and how they should be structured. Another thing that you want to get into, like I said before, buy yourself a food scale. Stop guessing about how much food you're eating and then getting a rough estimate and just getting random results. No, if you want proper results, if you want intentional results, you need to be intentional with the way that you're going about your eating. All of your body goals are made in the kitchen. Abs, weight loss, all of that, it's made in the kitchen, not in the gym. The gym just enhances those muscles and it makes you look better. Excuse me. But right now I'm getting this ground meat cooked up. Show you guys what this is looking like. whenever it comes to any type of meats, ruminant meats or like steak, ground meat or anything like that, I always like to cook it. I always like to cook any type of meats of this regard, beef, steaks, chuck roast, whatever the case may be. I like to cook it in cast iron pans, higher smoke point, better sear, and it's better for you. You don't have to worry about all of those chemicals and all of those microplastics that sometimes you get on a regular standard pan. So we're about to transfer these these ground meat into the pan, well, into this plate, my bad. Boom, just like that. Quick little 7-8 minutes, and that is all set and ready. Now we just switch that over, and we're about to get some eggs in. Oof, I love my eggs. You know, I practice a very high carnivore diet, so I mainly eat eggs and meats. It's really what my diet consists of. It's what works for me. And as you can see, before I was using the ghee for the ground meat. Now for the eggs, I'm using some 30-day dry aged beef tallow. Oof, so good. But yeah, guys, it's simple as that. You know, stop falling into this the societal myths that eating at a certain time is going to automatically put weight on for you. Me personally, I've eaten at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. It all depends on what time you're going to sleep. Now, the reason why I'm able to do that is because, like I said, I'm giving myself ample time to digest these foods, and depending on what time I'm eating is also going to determine what I'm eating. If I know that I'm going to be eating at 2 o'clock in the morning because I had a long day at work and I'm going to be going to sleep around 3:30, well then my dinner is going to look like a couple eggs, you know, maybe a yogurt, maybe a small little protein shake with water, and then just like that I can head to sleep within the next 90 minutes, maybe even less. But once you understand these little things, then you start to see that a lot of the myths that we're told when it comes to eating are exactly that. They're just myths. They're just ways for people to control, or society to control, how we eat, and you know, these propagandas, these advertisements and stuff of that nature. But I just wanted to come by, tell you guys about, you know, stop thinking that if you eat after a certain time you're automatically going to gain weight. That is not the case. You just need to give your body ample time to digest whatever class of food you're going to be eating. So like I said, if you're eating a food that is higher in fats, you want to give your body about 3 to 4 hours to digest that. And that's before you go to sleep, or that's even if before you go on a workout. If you're going for a workout, sometimes eating healthy doesn't necessarily mean it's the most beneficial for you. So don't try and go and eat an avocado or a high fat steak or something of that nature before a workout thinking it's going to give you the great pre-workout fuel that you need. That's not the case. If you go and you plan on working out in the next 90 minutes, an avocado and a high fat steak or a high fat ground meat is not going to do it for you. When you're having a workout or you're going to do a workout, you want to have timed carbs. You want to have something that's going to be quick releasing, that is going to give you energy through that workout. So you want to have things like Thai jasmine rice, you know, maybe some egg whites, protein shake with water, you know, things of that regard. But everything really more comes down to meal timing. As you get deeper in your journey, you'll start to learn these things, you'll start to understand these things, and then you'll start to see that everything becomes easier. But I hope you guys got some value out of this. Make sure you like this video, comment, subscribe, share this share this video with a friend, anybody who you think can use this as some guidance, who can use these little tips and tricks that I like to give on my channel about how to lose weight and how to look at food, and just debunking all these myths that we tend to hear. You know, if you know someone in your life or someone close to you who they are crippled by the fact like, oh no, I can't eat after I gotta stop eating by this time because, you know, then I'm gonna gain weight. make sure you share this video with them, show them this video. Listen, I lost over 130 pounds from learning how to properly eat, and that was from me still eating at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, doesn't matter. It's just knowing timings, knowing what to eat, when to eat, and how to eat. And like I said, if you need to know what to eat and you want a better understanding of the foods you should be putting in your system, make sure you pick up a copy of my root list. The link is going to be in the description below, and you can pick up a copy of that list. Like I said, all you do with that list, it is a ingredient replacement list that is the foundation and the backbone of my weight loss transformation. So all you need to do is go into your local grocery store, look at the list as you're shopping, check in, throw everything in your cart, check out, head home, hit body goals. Simple as that. It's your boy JP. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and never forget, over here, we're rooted in health and rebuilt with a purpose. I'll see you in the next one. Yeah.